So, hello everyone and welcome back to some more Disco Elysium. We are actually looking into the direction that I'm pointing the mouse. I only now noticed that. But anyways, I was thinking that we could be going and checking into here considering it's actually open now. We haven't looked into there at all yet. So seems like a reasonable choice. The dishes are trying, they smell of chemicals and pine trees. You are cook. Gorasukupek. A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods towards the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Gorasi and Kupek. Logic failure. It must be his name. Gorasi Kupek. Sounds representative. Yeah, I doubt that. Hello, sir. Got time for a few questions? The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. You've got some impressive pots there. He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in return. Okay, I guess I'm not getting anything out of you more. I don't think I need anything else. Stay masculine. Leave. Aw. I failed. With my trying to figure out. Oh well, can't be helped. What's in here then? Blue door. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent timber lock. It's painted blue. Medium success. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery. I wonder where this door leads. You do? The lieutenant regards you with patient skepticism. It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? Out of duty, of course, we may find something pertinent to the investigation. Yes, I suppose it's worth seeing if we can get in, just to be throughout as a site investigation. Stereo investigation. Yes, mini site investigation. Explore the whirling secret passage. He looks at you, then at the door. Carter's a person to ask about this, the cafeteria manager. Touch the door. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel is door flush with its frame on every side. Try to push the door. The door does not budge. It's probably something like a big refrigerator area or something, probably, but hey, we'll ask.
Can I help you?
Something about... yeah. Another thing, great, I love those. There's a mysterious blue steel door in the back of the kitchen. Oh yes, the door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it, it's just the door, he shrugs. Well, do you know what's behind it? Do you have... No. I don't have a key, I don't know how to get there, and I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years, it's just a fair house probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. He runs his fingers across the counter to check for dirt. Composure is a success. He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing at all. I think you'd like to know what's back there. Fine, okay, a little, he shrugs. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the full place 100 times over, though, after the animals, and I haven't found the key. So good luck with that. Okay. He doesn't have the key. By the
Can I
way,
help you?
I'm going to sing karaoke here. Absolutely out of the question. You wait and see, cafeteria manager. Easy success. Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger, then we sing this place the shit. I wonder, can I ask you about the door? The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod acknowledging your presence. Do you know what's behind that door? Point to the blue door. He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for no, I don't know what's behind the door. Oh, that's sad. Okay, well, thank you. At least I were able to try to ask. God damn, now I'm annoyed of this door. Does not budge. But I want it to budge. I saw like a door of the similar sort of thing in the upstairs. I'll just go and visit my room quickly. Or well, previous room anyways. It used to be my room. I just kind of messed it all up. Besides, I still have my freaking tie that I would need to somehow get from there. How? I'm not quite certain. What have I actually done? Kim tries to not look at your broken down bathroom door. Empathy. Kim also tries not to look at the pile of tape viscera on the carpet, on the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner, but it's all just too morbid to ignore. This is where the magic happens, sure. I'm sorry for this. No problem, officer. He takes a step towards the door, like he'd like to leave. Hey. I'm sure you would like to leave. The bed is gold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful. The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 21:00, but I wasn't supposed to sleep in this place anymore. The thing is, I would really like to figure out how to open this door. But I don't have any options even for that. For whatever reason. In it, your face adorned with the expression. Yeah, no. Those sort of things definitely not gonna happen. The only question is, could I get my tie someday? Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though the squitch is your friend. I would like to get my friend, but that's anyways. I should never have tried this because it's even -1 for me, at least in this time around. So, fan is turned off. How could I reach you? Nothing happens. The air in the room is starting to feel vaporous urine. How lovely. It's at least turned off, but I don't know how to get my tie. You're supposed to be my friend. I can't get to you. Let me go and there's a lot of stuff that I should be doing, like from the quests. But let's interact with our notes. Instant photo of tattoos. Damage ledger is the one that I especially should be checking. It's our after all. This is the ledger you found in the trash. It's full of notes written in a man's dense curved scythe. Have a closer look. Maybe you can salvage to start keeping notes on the case. It's the ledger you found in the trash, a pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from the plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. Anything else to add? There's a piece of toilet paper. Or is it a cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper. Desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. How lovely. It's a metaphor for you. Thanks. Below the pathetic terror, do not look into its blue heart. Below the pathetic terror. Do not look into its blue heart. Well, we have to still know. Smell the freaking ledger. That's a great idea. Inspect the stupid toilet paper. It's just the toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Maybe it's kitchen tissue. They look exactly the same. If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue. Well, take it off anyways. Still, wet toilet paper, I mean kitchen tissue, sorry. Peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your fingers and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better. Inspect the clip. An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down onto the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip burned down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. Run your fingers across the aluminium. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Hey, Lieutenant, what is this? Point to the sticker. What? He is lost in his own notes. It takes a moment for him to see it. That thing, it's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to your SIM property. Interesting. What kind of information? It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue. Success. How many years you been on the force? He's thinking. It will have that. Okay. How can I read it? Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. Like, for example, all RSIM recalls have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too. Perfect. This means you can read the watermark if you just turn the lights on. Yep, thank you, that's all. Okay, he returned to his neatly kept notes, not like mine. While a bunch of soda and paper sack from the clipboard in your hand. It's a sorry sight. Browse the white papers. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaches its tendrils across entire pages. The papers itself is checkered with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to papers." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sort and crumpled up earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if most illegible. What is in there? What are they about? Work, strife, poverty, the Jamra Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51 this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to the missing papers and an odd naming convention, but there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases. Undertaken, not completed, mind you. Logic easy. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. Is 2 cases a week a good case load, Lieutenant? He raises his notes from his notes. 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. So we've really been pushing it. 2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though. 2. He raises both eyebrows. That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. I burned out, all right? And that's okay. He nods, then turns back to his own case files. We all do, sooner or later. At least he is understanding. Like a fan of chills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. I guess we wanted to drown ourselves to our work, and then we just wanted to end it all, just burning out, and whatever else reasons there are behind, like that, something bad with the car and everything. There was a mention of a naming convention here. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins, yet still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. More. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapse in tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. Yeah, we've been investigating a lot of murders. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done later once you're done inspecting them up close. Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention. You meant the alphanumeric official, president, time of arrival at the scene. Yeah, that's not the one for us, though. No, I mean a non-numeric one with titles. Ah, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in TRCM does. Why is that? It's a holdover from the early days of TRCM. Right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things, it persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. I seem to have named the case The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one. He peeks into his notes. The man with the hole in his head. I think Square Bullet Hole Murders is kind of more distinct than the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that to amuse myself. He smiles. I pray his loved ones never find out. What happened to him? Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident. Aw. Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room? There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Okay, let's commit to paper. The tasks you've completed flow out of the pen in a brush-free hand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily, it's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect victim's body, get the body down, interview the cafeteria manager, cross out the ones you've already finished. Healed Morale, but I didn't need Morale healing, but thank you. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say, and you. Things to be done and things already done, and the composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of a citizen's militia. Now all that remains is to name the case. Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case? No, actually, any ideas? Such weird things. The furries are at home in the mirror. That wouldn't make any sense, like at all. The Hat Man is at least like accurate, sure, but that's kind of boring too. Just very much just accurate. This I would never ever choose. The Furies at the home in the mirror, the setting sun. I guess it can clean off the freaking boots, but otherwise, shit on a stick. Where's the is the? I guess I could imagine what the shit would be, but what about the stick? Well, the hangman. We are having a lot of trouble getting him out of there. Great, that's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The hangman. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. Extremely good name. Well, at least we named our case. He flips the pages of his notebook. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out. Okay, that's amazing. I'm done inspecting these closed case files. So at least I've done some of them. I'm not gonna do that yet, considering I don't even Kim explained the system. But that doesn't seem to be helping that much yet. 42 only. Well, propose the yellow papers. In the back, you see thin translucent copier papers, some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes like marching armies. These look like official forms waiting to be filled out. Easy success. Just barely all the time, like 8 out of 8. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out according to the type of form. What types of forms are there? 3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense. Okay, so misconduct fine. Monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields. Station call. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specific President police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. What about field autopsy? A dozen papers of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of the deceased human form waiting to be filled in: age, sex, condition, and internal organs. Makes sense well enough. Enough of these closed forms. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. Date and time for the person to appear. Continue. Well, I didn't need any of that, but thank you. What delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. You feel better. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier papers. Look at the clipboard. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4-sized board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters RCM. What did you say the color was? Dark blue? Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. We have already. Shake the ledger. Something rattles inside ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? Maybe that could have a key into that freaking door there. Peek inside. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. How would I open it? With your hands? U4-sized pages hang from the clips screwed to the top of the board. It's extremely unlikely I'll be able to do this. Smell the ledger. The acid stench of rotten food has rubbed off on a cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the circus cess of toilet cleaner. What if I prose it again? Those case files: arson, petty theft, spousal abuse, handwritten logs on dozens of investigations dating back to January 51, stamped case files commit to paper. These are your last couple of months in Revanchol President 41 Shamrock Quarter. Okay. Let's put it down for the moment. I was thinking that I would like to at least stop this Lawson Way road for the moment and time being if I would like to. Yeah, it's like Encyclopedia 1, but apparently it also did mean that something was minus for that one thing in there. Like handkerchief, woohoo. Like now this should be -1, I guess, because I haven't done that yet. That might be it then. I guess that's the reason. And maybe I could be doing it better if I can do this to the end, but this will be taking a while anyway still to do, certainly enough. So many different things that I would need to try to do. So close to a level up though. I am wondering like what should I be increasing. Bonus from items apparently. I was thinking also that I would like to go and get some more of the visual calculus, even though my numbers for it will never be able to be that high. But on the other hand, I would like it. Reconstruct crime scenes, make laws of physics work for the law. This might be the one that I used before for being able to figure out that I was throwing the... I had broken the window with the shoe when I originally started, because after all I had one more point in there as a necessary stuff. I definitely like shivers and definitely want to put more points to it, but I guess it's also logical to put points into things that I'm not good in. It just doesn't mean that I can put as many points into them, but still, it's not a bad thing to put some points into them. Yellow Man Muck. Use interact button. This broken-eared mug somehow made its way into the Whirling in Rags dumpster. It depicts a person of Samaran descent frolicking in a field of saffron flowers. Buck-toothed and grinning feeble-mindedly, it seems to be a cheap knockoff of some colonial-era antique. It just a racist mug where there's to... What's there to read here? Not much. There's quite a lot to read into here, actually. Look at all that content. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about the broken tossed away mug that you dug out of the carpets? What not to do? Possible. It's your innate ideology, okay? The mug will be useful. By denouncing it, I can earn political capital to mask my badass hustling. If I would want to be doing that sort of thing. Funny muck. Can't anyone laugh anymore? Sure. I'm gonna use it as an example of what not to do. But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work? Just finish your case, detective. Fine. I'll just be finishing my detective case. Maybe. One day. I'll actually manage to do so. I'm definitely not at the current moment low on the health front. Hey, this guy has woken up. Or, I guess it's a different man that has come into here. Doesn't look like to say. It's all about money, you know. Okay, I guess you didn't have anything more to say though. Kind of a sad thing. Indeed, I'm not sure if I should be really doing... I'm really not tempted by drugs, to be honest, but on the other hand, learning cast would be nice, to be able to learn certain things better. Well, I think I have to just... Oh, actually, what I was meaning to do first was going back into here and trying to read the watermark. Kim, how do I turn on the headlights? He turns the preheater on, Waits takes out his keys and says, "Alright, ready, I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater." He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage. Press engine start. The dashboard lights up with orange glow. This is loud engine. This is loud. Rounds per minute go to jump and the engine of Kopriskinema comes to life with a whiny growl. Press the button labeled headlights. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle. There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now. Alright. Interfacing. As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears, a street, grid, and the waves of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you. There she is, a revoltual vest. There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice. Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no hundreds of micro perforations. Look at the shimmering street grid. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revanchul are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kinemon's headlights. Wait, look around you. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry. Shivers, medium success. In the middle of a broken plaza, in a cone of light barely visible in the daytime, two men, one slim, the other sturdy. They are on a city stage, but only one of them knows his lines. So they would be performing and only one is actually able to do the performance properly. Oh, Martinez, he smells the air and says, "Where are we on this?" Point on the Halken map. Let me see. He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it. Right here, he says, his fingers near the top of the map, on a segment of coast jutting out into the great ocean. Seems nice. No, it does not, the lieutenant says with optimism. Well, look at the perforations. There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. Tally up the different rows. The first row has 18 dots. What about the next one? The next is the longest. It runs all the way around and border and then some. Count them individually. There are so many it's hard to count. More than 150 at least, maybe even 200. What about the last row? The last row has 3 perforations. 3, that's it? That's it. Hey Kim, what do all these holes mean? Point to the dots on the watermark. Those are perforations. They represent your record and an officer of the RSCM. They're your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you keep record officers, often do. Let's take a look. The first row represents your years of service. 18 years? Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? 18 years we've been doing this. End to come. Sure, totally. Apologizing all the time. Do you really think I have any ideas, to be honest? A fair point. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see. Oh, whoa, more than 200. That is a lot of closed cases. Is that a lot? It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. I used to be good. That's some solace, I guess. What's the last number? Right, those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 Peroforians there. At least I've only killed 3. So that's an interesting thing nonetheless. A lot of cases that we've solved, really, lots and lots and lots, over 200. He's surprised about that number considering, sure, we've worked 18 years, so of course it would be like, but if it would be 10 per year, then it wouldn't go into 200 yet, so we've done more than that. More than average for a certainty, or the max normally. That's not too many. For an RCM officer, especially President 41, which is the Chambra quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. Yes, I am happy that it's a small number. I wouldn't want to be killing a lot. Challenge in success. Yay, I did this. What's it feel like to kill a man, Mr. McCoy? A young woman asked the man across the desk from her. Says Sean McCoy. Honestly, babe, says McCoy, crossing his angles over his desk. I don't feel anything anymore. It's just like a brush in my teeth. I do it once or twice a week and don't really think about it. There's no trace of guilt in his voice. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of a coolest name. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accidents. It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers. Yeah, it's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers, but we are definitely not one of those officers. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. Though you have that one to be thankful for. Have you ever killed anyone, Kim? Yes, he says, declining to elaborate. Medium success, empathy. It's not a problem for him to state it, however. How do you handle the strain? Everyone has their own method of coping, some more effective or self-destructive than others. He gives you a meaningful look. Yeah, we've been a little bit self-destructive lately after all. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Like what? Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now. Maybe I should find a hobby. Why not gardening? You've already got the clothes. He points to your yellow gardening clothes. That's true, we already have the clothes now. It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab. Well, thanks for this. It's good to talk and good to understand what sort of a cop we have been. We don't need to be feeling bad about the person that we have been. Yeah, we really burnt out and well, I guess it's understandable if we all the time been doing like a couple of cases per week, then I guess that would be making the amount of cases that we've been working on, like going to think that we solved this and this many cases for over all of these years. Thanks for this. The lieutenant nods. Okay, let's go. Put the ledger away. Yay, level up. Read the watermark. Right, I'll go turn off the lights. He presses a remote control of the key. You can now see your statistics on your journal page right on the task description. Okay. Task description. At least I can see all the things that I've been able to do thus far. I'm not really sure where to see that sort of a thing. But that said, there's all the freaking things that I should still do. Those on white are available to try now. Yeah. Well, maybe someday. Pay for damages. Should I really ask for for additional funds? Should I? Ask around for money and be careful with your spendings. If you're unsure how much you owe, ask Carte. But there's also the world in secret passages and so on and forth. But what should we level up? Ooh, 2 points to spend because we got into level 5, I guess. At least I think it's level 5. Is it level 5? Where can I see what level exactly it is? Well, what do I want to do then? Also the interfacing so that I could do that one thing would be pretty nice. But I can only put 1 point there at max. So not certain how much it would help, but of course it could still help a little bit. On the other hand, indeed, all of these different things over here are something that I would be very, very, very interested about too. And of course, these are all the things that I'm already good at, and I would love to have more shivers. I guess I'll just go with having at least one into visual calculus, because I really do like it. So sure, let's level up our visual calculus a little bit. To try to reconstruct crime scenes a little bit better. I have no idea how much I should consider like spreading around these skill points, to be honest. Like that's a pretty big question. I have no idea. I can never have this very high, but of course just having one in here would help a lot. Actually it was only 1 point, isn't it? Yeah, I have 2 in total placed. 1, 2, and then that of course in the start that we did put into there, but should I then put it into here instead so I could try to do that one thing a little bit better? Connect to machines to use and improve them, because that makes you a better human organism. It enables you to understand interactions with machines, be that how to repair the motor of a kinema motor carriage, how to analyze the way to suspect a pen, or how to refigure electrical circuit. It even lets you steal keys of a keyring without being noticed. It isolates you from society by bother with people when you can talk to machines. Money when you can use just pockets that display sandwich. People use machines to commit crimes all the time. If you can't understand how crime was accomplished, how can you solve it? There's so many things that like one would want. Having just that 1 extra point into here would definitely nonetheless help. I wonder which is the exactly item that where I get the bonus of 1 into this. Well, let's go with this. This is the one that I originally was thinking about increasing, not this one. So sure. I level up my visual calculus a little bit. Just a teeny tiny bit. To be continued with Kida Rusha next time in Disco Elysium. See you all then.